Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment, here for yet another 2018 NFL mock draft. It is Monday after all. Every single Monday there is a new mock draft on this channel. People, you know this rule by now, unless if you're not subscribed. What are you doing? Go ahead and subscribe. So we have a new 2018 NFL mock draft, and last week I discussed quarterbacks, so I thought it was only natural to discuss running backs this week. Now right now I only see 2 running backs going in the first round, but as I always say, it is January, things will change. But I only currently see Saquon Barkley, the running back out of Penn State, and Darius Guice, the running back out of LSU, going in the first round. But as we enter the combine and we really get into the nitty-gritty draft process, don't be surprised if guys like Sony Michel, Nick Chubb, Ronald Jones II enter the conversation in terms of being running backs going in the first round. What we're going to discuss are the teams that could take Saquon Barkley or Darius Guice today, and let's start with Saquon Barkley. All first 6 teams in this 2018 NFL draft to me have the potential to draft Saquon Barkley. After that, I really don't think he'll be available after pick number 7, and personally right now I don't think it's going to be available past pick number 5, maybe even pick number 4. I mean, this guy should be going top 5 in this 2018 NFL draft. So we have the Browns, the Giants, the Colts, the Browns again, the Broncos, the Jets, and the Bucs. Let's start with the Cleveland Browns. Should they do it? Should they pull the trigger number 1 overall and take Saquon Barkley? Now, I haven't done my official evaluation of Saquon Barkley yet, but I can tell you that boy is really good. And he appears to be a generational type running back, and we've seen for the past 2 drafts what that can do, right? The Cowboys took Ezekiel Elliott and he changed their football team. The Jaguars took Leonard Fournette and he didn't make the same impact Elliott did, but the Jaguars went farther in their tournament and Fournette had a hell of a touchdown in that AFC Championship game against the Patriots yesterday. We see the value in the running back position yet again, and even consider Todd Gurley, right, who went top 10 and I believe the 2015 NFL draft. People thought that was too high for him, but he was damn near an MVP candidate this year. Some people thought he should win it, right? I don't think he's going to, but I think Tom Brady's MVP, and deservedly so, but I think Gurley's going to finish number 2 in the MVP voting. So we're talking about running backs having a resurgence in this league, so I understand why people want the Cleveland Browns to take Saquon Barkley number 1 overall. And if I do my quarterback evaluations and none of their grades even compared to Barkley, I'd be fine with it. But again, as I've said, I think they should take a quarterback number 1 overall and be done with it, and hope that Barkley is available at number 4. Or, you know, you can even try to trade with the Colts from 4 to 3. We've seen it done before. Last year, the 49ers and Bears switched their picks 2 and 3. So it can be done, and only for like a 3rd round pick, you can get it done. So if the Browns really want Barkley, they can make that switch. And I think the Colts would be fine with it, because I think they're in a position to where they'd like to get Barkley, but I think they'd be fine getting Minkah Fitzpatrick or Bradley Chubb as well. So that's the move to me for the Cleveland Browns, but I'd be fine upgrading Isaiah Crowell, who is an upcoming free agent in Cleveland. We move on to the New York Giants. I wouldn't do it. I was actually encouraged by the running game in New York later on in the year. Orleans Darkwa ended up running decently well, as did Wayne Gallman. Now, I believe Darkwa is an upcoming free agent, so that's not a very good thing, but he should be relatively cheap to re-sign. And still, you had Wayne Gallman that did something. You certainly could pull the trigger, but I think the Giants just have to reset right now with the young quarterback, and I think they understand that. Move on to the Indianapolis Colts, and yeah, they should really consider Saquon Barkley, and I would tell you that I probably would do it. I probably would. I'd probably take him over Bradley Chubb, but it is very close right now for me as I evaluate these 2 prospects. Frank Gore, I mean, he had an okay year last year. I mean, he continues to have these okay years, but look, we get it, man. He's going to retire soon enough. And Marlon Mack, I wasn't that encouraged with his rookie year. I think the coach should look at a running back. I think that they will, and if I were them, I would probably pull the trigger. But if the Browns came calling and they want to swap picks 3 and 4, I would also take that, because I'd like to have an additional 3rd rounder if I could. And losing Barkley would probably suck, but I think Bradley Chubb or Minkah Fitzpatrick would be a nice consolation prize, and having that extra 3rd round pick as well. So that's what I would do if I was the Colts. The Browns picking at number 4 again. If Barkley is available, take it, period. At that point, if he's still available, take him. Broncos at number 5. It's tough for me. CJ Anderson, he continues to be an okay running back in this league. Like, I will tell you, I think he's an average starter running back in this league. I don't think he's the top 10. If I actually sat down and made a top 10 list, I highly doubt he'd be in the top 10, but he's all right. You can have an all right run game with CJ Anderson. I probably wouldn't pull the trigger then because of that. I think the Broncos have much bigger needs needs, specifically the quarterback position. But if Barkley is available at 5, he would be really enticed. Look at number 6, the New York Jets. So currently their running situation is actually decent. Bilal Powell's been running pretty well when healthy, and Matt Forte has not because he's never healthy, right? Forte's done. Powell has shown enough for me to be willing to move forward with him. However, if Barkley was still available at number 6, I might take him, especially because the Jets, to me, they look like a team that might go after a veteran quarterback in this free agency period, and I think the Jets can make the playoffs next year if they get like an Alex Smith and they drafted a Saquon Barkley. Well, I think the Jets could be headed to the playoffs, at least playoff contention, right? So that would be very interesting. I would raise my eyebrow to that, but I still think the Jets have to ultimately take a quarterback unless they get an Alex Smith, like Alex Smith or Kirk Cousins, right? Kirk Cousins is probably going to be on the move, it looks like. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this New York Jets football team. And Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I said this in my MJ Take podcast, I think they should obliterate the Bucs running back room. I'm tired of these Bucs running backs. Doug Martin, who's on PEDs every other week. Peyton Barber, why am I still saying that name? Charles Sims can't do anything except for catch the football, and he even struggles with that. Jaquiz Rodgers, why am I still saying that name? I think they should obliterate the entire running back room, keep one of them as a receiving back, preferably Charles Sims, and then move on from everybody. That'd be my move. Maybe keep Jaquiz Rodgers as a backup, but I think they need a new starter, true starter in Tampa Bay. Doug Martin's not reliable, so if Saquon Barkley was available and you could pair him with Jameis Winston, hey, let's have a conversation today. So then we have a chasm, right? Because I think from pick 7, where Barkley would definitely be taken at that point, unless if he comes down with like some PEDs or he's smoking a bong like Laramie Tunsil, he gonna be gone. Okay, so then we have a huge chasm because there is a significant drop off from Barkley to the next running back prospect. Now I believe it's Darius Guice. Most people believe it's Darius Guice, but you may be a Sony Michel fan and that's fine. The point is this: I don't think anyone's taking a running back from pick 18 to like pick 15, right? So let's just go ahead and forget about those teams. Then the conversation starts again around 16 to me. I think the Ravens passed because I think Alex Collins did well enough for them this year. I think they're going to go running back now. Chargers, Melvin Gordon, no need there. Seahawks, 18. So I've been mocking this. Darius Guice, I mocked it in this very mock. Darius Guice to the Seattle Seahawks, and it just makes too much sense to me. And I've seen some Seahawks fans tell me we have, oh my God, we have Mike Davis, Thomas Rawls, and CJ Prosise. Are you kidding me, dog? First of all, Mike Davis, 3.5 yards per carry this year. I'm not interested in that. Thomas Rawls cannot stay healthy to save his life, and neither can CJ Prosise. And they're actually talented backs. We've seen that. But man, they cannot stay healthy. Russell Wilson was your leading rusher in the 2017 season. It's time for a running back in Seattle. Look at what happened when you paired Russell Wilson with a good running back. You guys won the damn Super Bowl and went to another. You don't want that again? You don't look at that formula and say, hey, let's do that again. That worked out pretty well. I think that was pretty good. Let's go back to some of that. Right? You don't want to. I don't understand why Seahawks fans are against this. It makes no sense. You won a Super Bowl because of this. I mean, come on. I know your defense was great too. I'm not discounting that. I don't think it's no coincidence that when Marshawn Lynch is no longer good and then ultimately out of the door, the Seahawks have been struggling lately. I don't think it's a coincidence, and their struggling is a lot better than other teams doing well, okay? They're not really struggling. Anyway, so it's perfect to me. I have it in this mock. I'm going to continue to have it. Maybe not every mock, but most mocks. All right, next we have the Lions, okay? And again, I heard some Lions fans saying, I don't want a running back. We win with defense. That's how you win in this league. Dude, just imagine, just for a second, Matthew Stafford with a run game. Oh my God. The Detroit Lions have been last in the league in rushing yards for the past 2 seasons. They've been the worst in the league. Imagine Matthew Stafford with a run game. He's never had it. I mean, my God, we thought that clown from California, I can't even remember his name right now, remember that clown that got injured every other year? We expected so much from him back in 2011, 2012. You guys know what I'm talking about. Comment down below who the hell I'm talking about. I forgot about that name because he's so irrelevant at this stage in my life. Theo Riddick can't run the ball. You got to find a running back to me. Amir Abdullah, he's not good enough. Look at the Buffalo Bills. this is an interesting discussion. Okay, LaShawn McCoy is getting older. Can we pull the trigger now? I think it's a little early. I'd like to go one more year for McCoy before we draft a running back in the first round, but I'd consider one in the second or third, right? I think that's the move for the Buffalo Bills. Pittsburgh Steelers, okay? So if somehow guys falls lower than what I'm expecting, this could be a possibility. Le'Veon Bell is threatening to either retire or just straight out leave or never show up, I should say, if the Steelers franchise him yet again. Le'Veon Bell could be gone. This makes sense here. If Darius Guice is available, we move on. And with Darius Guice, we move on from Le'Veon Bell. Now, would I do it? Probably not, because I think Le'Veon Bell has been one of the reasons why the Steelers have been rejuvenated lately, both he and Antonio Brown, and now Juju Smith-Schuster. I'd like to stick with that combination as long as possible. But, right, if things happen, this is the NFL, this is a business, and the Steelers may have to move on. And the final team is the New England Patriots, who never drafted running back in the first round. They drafted that clown a number of years back. Since then, they haven't even gone down this road for a good reason. They just don't draft running backs in the first round. So I don't think it's very possible, but I think if Bill Belichick likes a talent enough, he would take one. So I considered them here, and if Guice is available and they paired Tom Brady with a nice running back in the first round, that would be very interesting to watch. Okay, you'd have Tom Brady with a consistent running game because Deion Lewis is an upcoming free agent. James White I think maybe he has one more year left, but even he's a receiving back. They understand that at this point, so I think they'd have to consider that. So there you go. That is a 2018 NFL mock draft, and those are my thoughts on the running back situations for this 2018 NFL draft. What teams could take a running back, what teams should consider, what teams should not. What are your thoughts on this video? Comment down below. I'd like to know. I'll be back next Monday for a new 2018 NFL mock draft. Until next time, this has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. See you all later.